Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using the newer Let's Scrapbook collection from Bella Blvd. I got inspiration for this layout from Create with Jennifer Smith on Instagram. And so I decided to kind of follow along with what she had done, but use obviously my own papers and kind of embellishment designs. So I did cut a big circle as large as I could and did keep it that yellow, which actually matches my aunt's shirt very nicely. I don't always match my papers and my pictures, but this one just worked out perfectly. So I am going to cut 3 different pattern papers, different lengths and different widths. The bottom one is that busy phrase paper. And then I'm going to use a blue polka dotted paper. And then my last one is going to be a very subtle pink polka dotted paper. So 4 total patterns on this layout, but I feel like the way that they are separated, they just work and kind of flow together really nicely. So I still have to cut the pink, and I think this is maybe the thinnest strip here. So what I am going to do is when I tape them down, the bottom is going to just be the way it is, but then I'm going to dovetail the ends of the blue paper. So I am going to get those taped down. I do leave the excess to cut off after it's already taped down. I thought this would be the easiest way for me. However, when I get to the circle, I struggled with the circle. I wasn't sure where to cut it. You will see it here in just a second, but I wasn't sure where to cut it. I knew I kind of wanted it cut down the middle, and maybe next time on the Cricut, I cut it as just 2 half circles. Just kind of make them even. I don't know, because this is how I'm like trying to figure out, okay, what is going to be even. So instead what I decided to do was just tape the whole circle onto the paper, and then I figured I would cut it off after that. And I have not taped the pink down because I did want the pink to be over top of this yellow here. So I guess I did have to trim off the bottom to make sure that it fit. I was okay with it overlapping the blue a little bit because, like I said, the pink is going to overlap both of them. But you can see that I am really trying to make it so it is like 6 inches in from both sides, that it's even. And for whatever reason, now that it's cut, I probably could have done 6 inches, but that's, I don't know, not what I had in mind, I guess, while I was creating this layout. So you can see that I cut it down the middle, but not all of it cuts because there are places that have extra layers. And so, I don't know. It ended up working out just fine. It doesn't look like I fumbled with it, but I'm sure there's got to be an easier way to cut the circle in half. So here I am just going to then add the pink paper and do kind of the same thing where I use, I guess, the excess and then cut it off. But again, that is just one piece and a straight line, and that was a lot easier than the circle. So I did double map my photos. I found a light pink cardstock that worked well. There's some light pink in that phrase paper at the bottom. And then I kind of had to figure out how to embellish. I didn't really have any ideas. I knew my title was going to go to the left of my photo on the left-hand side because there was such a big open space. So I decided to kind of use the phrases that are in the ephemera. I think I have, I can't remember if I bought both ephemera packs or just one. I'm thinking I must have bought both. But because the background is so white, luckily for me, I found kind of that garland and found 2 of them. So I thought those worked really nicely at the top, adding some color to the top, without being kind of overpowering. So once I get all of this, I did want my photos to line up. I don't know why I am so kind of picky about that, because I do use the 3-ring binder albums. So my 2-page layouts are spread quite far apart. It's not like the post bound where they're kind of side by side. So really, truly, it doesn't matter if they are completely straight and even all the way across, because most likely you wouldn't be able to tell anyways with those types of albums. But I did pop the title up on some foam tape, and then I love how that little flag here says fun, and I was able to kind of tuck that in my title there as well. So again, just kind of struggling maybe with what and where to embellish. So I like what I had down thus far, and so I decided just to, you know, tape it all down and then figure out what to do. In the collection, and I don't know what they are, but I'm going to call them bursts. Or I guess they're buttons with, I don't know. I'm going to call them bursts. That sounds good to me. But I like that circular element. I don't use buttons really in my scrapbooking, but it was just a fun element, and there were so many of them that I thought it would work for whatever clusters I decided to add, to be quite honest. I don't think I really had a good idea once kind of the base page was done, what I was going to use or where I was going to place them. I did find quite a few phrase stickers that worked really nicely, so I thought about layering them kind of underneath my title. But then I also wanted to journal. This was such a fun event. It was like I said, our first one, and we went to Orlando. So I knew I wanted to journal quite a bit. So I did add some journaling strips just to kind of show you guys where I will journal. And those journaling strips too, because they are just a solid white, it just really helps on that busy pattern paper to kind of show up a little bit better. So I do have 2 of those bursts and then a phrase over to the right hand side of the layout there. And then I have quite a few flares from Scrap and Happy Studio that work really nicely. So for kind of my third circular element over there, I added a flare. And then, like I said, I wanted to kind of use some of these phrases because they worked really nicely for my photos. So I did kind of stagger them. Usually, a lot of times I will just line them up top to bottom. But this one here, I decided to kind of switch it up and kind of just fill them in on that blue paper under my title. Again, adding some of these bursts or trying to figure out where to add them to kind of, I guess, make the layout cohesive. So I do like them there on the right hand side of that title. So I am going to end up adding 2 of them there, and I will commit to the placements of those phrases as well. And then I did find another, I think it's a mini canvas flare from Scrap and Happy Studio that worked nicely. So that would be, again, my third element in that cluster. I just feel like groups of 3 or 5, I think odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye. I don't know if that's an actual rule, but that is kind of what I tend to do. Kind of have 3 main elements, I guess. Sometimes I'll add, maybe some enamel dots to them or whatnot. But really 3 main elements is my goal. I did decide to add another burst and a heart to my journaling down on the bottom there. And again, just kind of trying to figure out what else I could add, excuse me. So looking at the sticker sheet, I have the chipboard as well. I kind of went crazy, and now I don't know. I kind of had a feeling that we would be using this collection at She Loves Color because Stephanie from Bella Blvd puts it on. but I just could not wait to get my hands on it. I waited and I waited and waited and finally caved because I wanted to scrapbook this. I have the other expo to scrapbook, Tuesday morning to scrapbook, and I just didn't want to wait. So hopefully I'll find lots more pictures, scrappy pictures to scrapbook. I mean, I'm sure I'll take some at the event, and so I could use those for whatever projects we create there. That is getting closer, and I'm so excited. It'll be my first time, and I can't wait to meet so many of you. Said that you're going to, so hopefully we can meet up and yeah, say hi to each other. But I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. I will link this collection down below if you are interested. And again, hope you enjoyed. We will see you next time. Bye, guys.